Who'd like to start us off?
Excuse me, I've got a question for Mark. The previous manager brought in loan players. Are you going to do the same? Bearing in mind what you said in the paper, you've got 22 players who you think will do the job. Will you be any?
I think I've always used the loan market. Always, ever since I've been a manager. I think the last time I was here, I think the loan market was probably a very, very big asset. As with all loan players, you've got to make sure that they're the right ones, the right characters, and you don't want to be almost filling your team with temporary players. You want to be working with players that you think are going to be here to help. Now, don't get me wrong, this league is going to be a very challenging league, and for us to try and keep pace with what's going on in the league, we've got to be quite creative. We've got to be quite creative with how we can do that. So if we do have the misfortune of picking up injuries, hopefully not suspensions, then we need to use probably some people that we have good relationships with. I think we all know we've had a good relationship with Bournemouth before. We've had some, huge players come down and have a huge part of this club, and it was a big part of their development. You know, some have had international honours and play in the Premier League now, and thanks to our football club, we gave them a bit of a platform. So the players like that, who we can use and they can use us, we will do that. But we definitely, we've done well getting what we've signed on at the moment. I feel that we've got a really good group of lads. We've assembled a really good group of lads in like I said, the most competitive market that I've ever worked in. We have definitely got the lads here who want to be here, I think, and are here for the right reasons, because I know for a fact they could have all got a lot more money elsewhere. So I feel that we've got the lads here because they're here for the club, the fans, the community, and also the stakes of playing for this football club, which, they're going to want to use this football club as much as we want to use them to hopefully get on to bigger and better things. So, in answer to your question, yes, we will be using the loan market, but at the right time, for the right person. We certainly don't want to be like a revolving door, but I've got a feeling that we're going to need a little bit of help this season from a few friends down the road.
Is that what Saturday's friendly a lot about, would you say?
Indirectly, it's a chance for us to have a little look, see what they've got if we're ever to need it. At the moment, if the season started tomorrow, we don't need anyone. Everyone's here. Brandon's hopefully on his way back. Keelan, had an ankle injury tonight, which is a crying shame for us really, because he's really on the right lines at the moment. Hopefully not too long. If the season started tomorrow, I'm happy. We don't need anyone from what we've got. But in the heat of the season, we might need to quickly act. Saturday to Tuesday, Saturday to Saturday. So having an idea of what's in and around other clubs and seeing them up close and personal, and also them coming to see us. This is a big, big football club. Every player that we've taken before has gone in and gone, they felt something here. So for them to see our stadium, our facilities, see other players that they may well know, then that might help us, if we're in need of one, help them get across the line.
How many have you got signed on now?
Oh, I'll let you do the maths. What's the time? It's like, how many substitutions we made tonight? Yeah, my head's fried. No, we've got 16, isn't it?
We've got 16 signed and a couple of the others are there and thereabouts.
Yeah. So 16 away, safe, and a couple we've probably seen tonight, 2 or 3, which in and around it. Yeah. So, like I said, we've got a team to start the season. Touch wood at the moment.
Well, I must say that they played well.
Yeah. That's very kind of you.
No, they did. It was entertaining football.
Well, I think from my time before, you probably know how I like to play, how we want our teams to look at, and the sort of characters that we want. I think the players so far are trying to display those characteristics that I like to see. I think they're being brave. They're trying things. I'm putting them in vulnerable positions. The way that we played tonight, you can see it was risky at times, but we're trying to overload them, we're trying to stretch them, we're trying to support them the best we can, and just asking for their for their attitude and an open mindset to try these things. Certainly not getting carried away with tonight. We were sort of against very good opposition, but we've sort of had nothing to lose in a friendly, in a bit of an underdog. So, you know, can we do that when on the higher stakes? Only time will tell, but we're certainly working hard to put them into their positions to be able to deal with that.
Yes, Sean.
One of the things I notice is the weight of the pass is so much better. The speed of the pass is so much better. It just helps make so much space on the pitch by closing down the time that the opposition have got to react, and that just seems a lot better this year.
No, I'm pleased you said that, because we are working hard on it in training, but ultimately when they cross that white line, it's their decision making, and they are really committing to it, which is great. And like I said, we'll continue to train in the same way and keep trying to hone our game plan, and just, you know, we always work with, can we improve the players individually the best we can, and then and then can we group it together and get the collective outcomes we want. But like I said, the lads have been a pleasure to work with. They're taking it on board, but at the same time, I expect them to. It's all new, it's all fresh. The season hasn't started. They haven't had all the drama and the ups and the downs and the emotions that a season. That's when the real test comes. So we're certainly not getting carried away. We've got a really tough test coming, and like I said, this league's going to be really unforgiving this year, and we're going to need your patience sometimes, because tonight you enjoyed it. Other times there's going to be frustrating moments, and moments where the way that we play, you know, just can cause, you know, a few mistakes here and there will look more catastrophic when they actually are. But for us to get to where we want to go to, we can't be frightened to play. You know, we've got to be brave, we've got to commit to it.
What is your expectation at the end of the season?
Good question. I always don't look too far ahead, but having said that, you've got to always have a long-term plan, but I can't take my eye off training on Thursday. So we certainly work short-term all the time, because things change so quickly. But you've got to be there to dream. You can't have a ceiling on anything. We didn't have before, but I probably would have bored you like I'm boring you now with the answer. I've also got to protect the players and the pressure and everything that comes with it. This league, I think if you look at most people, and I keep getting sent them, everyone's predictions, we're getting, you know, everyone's predictions, we're in a relegation fight. You know, we're getting relegated over most people who start to think that they know a thing or two on this. But we had that the season we come up last time, and we got promoted. So we've got to race to get safe as quick as we can, and that means getting as many points on board as quick as we can. We're going out to win every game of football. Every game of football. Now with the win behind us and things go around, that's how we started last season. Let's just take each game as it comes, try and win it, get as much points on the board as we can, and then who knows. But
going on a play tonight, you can't think about relegation, surely.
I'm not thinking about relegation. I think there all the time. I always have done. But as a manager, you've got to safeguard and manage expectations from around you. We've come and seen a very good performance tonight, some really pleasing things, but we still didn't win it. We probably had the underdog tag going into it, so we've got to use every advantage that we can. You know, we're up against a lot of big clubs, a lot of players at this level now. We've got 5 full-time teams in it now. 5 full-time teams, and a lot of players now decided to drop down and play part-time because they earn more money part-time than they do in full-time with a little bit of work. So I'm excited by the challenge.
You still haven't answered my question. Where do you sit? You go round it. You go round it. Halfway, above, playoffs.
Can he answer that in April?
Let's swing it round to you then.
Yeah, you can answer in April, but like you must have an idea.
Let's swing that round to you then. What do you think will realistically be satisfactory to a good season?
Nobody's going to
No, listen, we've got to improve this football club. We're here to improve this football club. So we've got to try and improve on its league position. Last year,
Yeah, but
we got to
looking at
improve the
that like
performances.
tonight,
Yeah.
Looking at what we saw tonight, that's an improvement.
That's very kind of you, and that's what we've got. That's what we've got to look for. We've got to look to improve this football club on the pitch first and foremost, because we've got to put a brand of football and excite you fans and give you something to get behind. We've also got to build the football club off the pitch. They go hand in hand. You know, I can get a better performance, and you saying things like that means that you're going to sit in here and have a drink and bring your mate along. You know, we're building the team. I mean, look at, you know, we've got someone like Ryan in the room here now. I mean, the biggest thing for me since I come back to the football club is how much more professional and further you are off the pitch than when I was here previously. So now I've got to, down to the chairman, without a shadow of a doubt. So the way that you've built it from, and it's been a roller coaster, I know all about it because I never didn't stay in touch with anyone here. I knew exactly what was going on and how it was going on. So we're here to try to improve it on the pitch and off the pitch, and we've got to grow it. But I can only have a short-term view on that at the moment. I can't make any outlandish things. I never have as a manager. I never would. I've got my own internal drive and expectations. I have expectations of those players and how they train and everything.
My question.
You're never going to get great
Yeah, that's all right.
So we'll improve. Our aim is to improve our position.
Good luck to you.
You might have to get him drunk first.
Is there any? Paul, anything else? Yeah.
Out of interest, obviously season ticket pricey. Myself as a loyal supporter, I've been buying season ticket for years. Sort of about, you know, when I was looking at the price, I'll be fair, and I did think it was quite a lot. And I went, well, I have got a season ticket because I believe in the project, I believe in what you're doing. So, roughly, what sort of numbers have you sold so far, season tickets?
Oh, that's a good question.
Just out of interest.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Sorry,
Not enough.
just over 200. So we're on course for where we finished up last year. Listen, season tickets are always a talking point for fans.
Yes.
I get it. I'm no different from everybody else in the room. Money is tighter than it's been for a long time for everybody. Which then I'll flip and say a football club costs more money to run than it cost 4 or 5 years ago. I think me and Pete pulled out some documentation from 2006 and looked at the budget from that year, and it was like, wow, but what you could run a football club on. That doesn't even pay the electricity bill here. And it's things like that. I don't mind, Simon probably might tell me off, but our electricity bill, we forecast it for the year, it's 3 times what it was last year. We've had to invest, I think we budgeted £25,000 to £30,000 on stadium improvements and ground grading criteria that, do you know what, and I get it, they are the most boring things that as supporters, you don't want to hear about the fact that we've had to do some welding in the Tony Hobson stand, that we've had to weld struts on floodlights. Yeah, you get it enough from Steve, and Steve's looking at me going, well, we have to do this, because if we don't do it, the ground doesn't open. And we don't play football. So, I get it. I mean, we're trying all sorts of different things to improve our commercial relationships, which is hence why Ryan is here. We've been impressed with what he's achieved so far and what we're trying to do. Even like Ryan, who's joined as our marketing manager as well. We're trying to foster more relationships with our sponsors, where it's a two-way street, where it's not we're just taking from them. We're trying to give back to them as well, so that there's a dual purpose to it. But fundamentally, I'm not a wealthy enough man to carry the cost of football club, and nor would I be daft enough to want to do that. We are a shareholder-run club. We don't have the ability to have somebody who owns more than 20%. So there's no sugar daddy. So every pound that we earn, we are trying to reinvest in the best possible way for the future benefit of the football club. Obviously, we want to give Mark the best opportunity that we can, because ultimately the product out there is what you come to see, not some nice new fence posts or glossy tunnel or a shiny bar. They're part of it, but we're trying to improve that whole experience you come. So I appreciate we're expensive. I know we are. And if it's not done out of a greed or a want to show a really healthy profit at the end of the season. It's not. It's about keeping the place open and being able to give you a product that you want to see. Because I'm pretty sure nobody in this room wants to go and watch Southern League or South and West football again. And it's a fine balance in that. I get it. We'd always attract criticism for it, and I respect people's opinions on that as well. I mean, it's never a decision that is taken lightly. You know, there's Simon will back me up with this, as will any of the other board members. It's a long argument that I can discuss ticketing prices and season tickets.
Thank you for the answer.
But as I say, we're being as transparent as we can. It's simply to fund the team, to keep this place open and running, and try and improve a product that you want to come to.
On the back of that, I can see that there's some great improvements, and it's great to have these guys on board as well. You can see the communications is better to the fans. There's more stuff out there. I can see, find out what's going on. You can see that there's more commercial stuff, and it's about getting that goodwill back of the town, isn't it? Because that goodwill was lost in those sort of round about 21, 22, 23. It completely lost, wasn't it? It's good to get that back. There's starting to be a bit more buzz about the place, and you can see that through these guys. So well done on that.
I'll be brutally honest about it. I am sick and tired of talking about 2 years ago.
Yeah, no,
I'm sick. But we've done that. We felt sorry for ourselves. We've licked our wounds. We've begged, borrowed and stealed to get out. Well, maybe not steal, but we've begged and borrowed. But we've done what we've had to do to get to this point. And as a board, we sat down in April and said, do you know what, we've done that, and we're not doing it anymore. We're just not. So we can't keep looking back. As much as we can't look back at it, keep looking back at his success, as much as he likes to keep telling me. We can't. We have to look forward now. And I
think we are as fans as well, to be fair. I think everyone here would be looking forward.
I'm aspirational. I'm not going to hide that. Again, so the board will be like pulling me back in now. I want to be back in the National League. That's where I think I would love us to be. But I'm realistic about the lessons that we have to learn from the last venture there. Because let's face it, every time this football club's gone there, it's nearly killed it.
Yeah.
So we have to grow in such a generic way. And again, that's really boring for people to hear, but we have to grow in that generic way and do it with stable footing, with the right manager, the right people around us, in the right way. So it's here because it's no good being bust and boom. I can't sit here again and have a conversation with you going, I'm really sorry, we can't do that. So
I think you see the difference. It's like today, it's completely different. You can see it's now growth. It's about getting that growth with these guys and doing that. And you can see, as if we go up, that man next to you needs to stay if we go up.
But it's one of our sort of key words now is transparency. Can we tell you everything? No, of course we can't. It's like any business. There's some things that we just can't go outside the board. But everything that we can be transparent about, we will be. And that's what we're trying to do, and that's our mantra to go forward. Is, if we know it and you know it, we'll tell you. And it's as simple as that, because we're stronger as one rather than different fractions. That's right.
Following on from that, not to put any pressure on, but we're expecting third round proper of the FA Cup. and then we'll have an easy enough so no pressure, but even if we could go sort of through 2 or 3 rounds, that would make a hell of a difference to the bottom line. Whereas last year it was a bit of a non-entity.
But it wasn't the year before.
The year before was a bit different.
The year before was great.
The year before was massive.
Yeah.
It really did save
made a difference.
That run was so important, and the FA Cup runs are. I mean, it's been. Everyone will have their opinions on the replays and everything this year, but what we understand is that there's more money filtering into the rounds with a view to trying to get more money into the non-league clubs. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I agree. FA Cup third round would be nice if we could have it on TV.
That would be nice. That would be in the contract. We will be. Listen, we're here. We always want to trailblaze. We want to go as far as we can, stretch ourselves as much as we can. On the pitch, we're all dreaming of that third round cup tie. Believe me, I certainly am. We'll be doing everything we can to achieve it. That's the magic of it. It can change the course of a football club. it can literally, like I said previously, it's Safety Club. I've been at clubs before as a player, lucky enough to be in a really big cup run with Safety Club. It was facing extinction and administration, and that cup run can just be, so we're all here for those moments in time of absolute unbelievable enjoyment and fulfilment, because football gives you enough tough times, I know that, so we're all hunting for those best times, and that's why we're going to work so hard, to try and bring as many good times here, because we all invest a lot into the football club. Everyone puts their time and energy and love into it, the players and my staff, we all want the same thing. We certainly all want the same thing. Sometimes it don't always look like we're doing the right thing at the right time to achieve that, but believe me, it's all out of, we're always going to be trying to do the best for the club. It's the only way that I know how to work, and always have worked, and let's see how that cup run goes.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Is there any discussions going on at the moment about a 3G pitch or building a 3G pitch on any of the other land that we're doing, anything like that?
Well, obviously at the moment we only own 30 metres out the back, which is not big enough for a 3G pitch or a full-size one. There is potential room for a 9v9 pitch out there, which there's been some very loose discussions about, because obviously we're trying to build our community projects as well, and that might help with that. It always comes down to funding. Here, you can never discount the 3G pitch. Personally, football should be played on grass. I'm old school, that's how I like to see it. Commercially, you have to consider it. You can't ever rule it out. I'm yet to see someone show me a model where they're actually making money. I think what's quite interesting, everybody's up in arms because Havant gone in the Southern League and they're going to stay full time. But when you talk to Havant, the reason they're going to do that is they make more money by renting 3G out in the evening and being full time and training in the day. That model works for them that way. You can never say never. Is there a discussion right this moment? No, there's not. But I say I'd like to see figures and the evidence that show, as a case study, that it economically would make sense for us to do. I mean, that said, I think the grounds might be a bit disappointed we took the grass away because it's immaculate out there at the moment. They've done a great job. Robin,
touching on that we only own 30 metres that way, or whatever.
Yeah.
Where are we with possibly buying back various
so
grounds?
we're very much held up, well not held up, sorry, we're very much in a chain of, there's a deal that's going through for that piece of land at the back, Simon will correct me if I'm wrong on this. The negotiation will speed up, I suppose, once their deal on that piece of land is finished. So it's there in the background, and we're kind of ready to go with them, and we've got ideas around how we would fund that and how we would then use the land commercially to bring the money in that would ultimately pay for the land, but also help to grow the business side of the football club as well, particularly your Monday to Fridays when there's nothing near daytime. So lots of ideas, lots of discussions going on, but we are hamstrung until they complete their deal, which I think Simon might step in and tell you better than I can, but they're getting somewhere. They've exchanged contracts, or
it's dependent on planning permission being granted for what's going to happen on the land at the top. And if it does, there's a very good chance that we can buy the car park back. They're quite amenable to selling us a car park. I think they've abandoned doing anything further on it. So we've just got to wait and see. We're in regular communication with those who own the land at the top, and we just have to. But of course, it's always good to put a contingency plan, and I know you're spending a bit more money on the ticket prices, but we've always planned to put some sort of reserve capital fund in place. So if we've got to go and make a purchase on that land, we'll have a deposit or something to go and do it. But it's, as Paul said, it's very much in the mix at the moment. It's purely dependent on their ability to get planning for it's a battery storage transformer
for battery storage. In that case, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you Saturday.